All of us reach a point in time where we are depleted and need to somehow find a way to reignite the fire within. But how do we spark that flame? Welcome to Reignite Resilience, where we will venture into the heart of the human spirit. We'll discuss the art of reigniting our passion and strategies to stoke our enthusiasm. And now, here are your hosts, Natalie Davis and Pamela Cass.
Welcome back to another episode of Reignite Resilience. I'm your co-host, Natalie Davis, and I am so excited to be back with all of you today. And joining me is your co-host, Pam Cass. Hello, Pam. How are you?
Hello, I am fabulous. We were just joking that last week on one of our podcasts, we were talking about how we haven't had snow yet. It was late November.
Yep.
This is not great for Colorado. And you are welcome, Colorado. We manifested the
There
snow
you
that we
go.
woke up to this morning. So you're welcome. And then we complained a little bit about having to go to the gym when it's 14 degrees out
It
in the morning.
is a challenge to get out in gym attire and not bundled up. And then it's a
Oh,
hassle to get to the gym. Like, what, let me stick all my big fluffy
all the
coat in this
things.
little cubie that,
Yeah,
is supposed to hold
yeah.
everything. And then the ground is wet. And anyways, it's fine. We're grateful. It's lovely.
It is. It is. We're so grateful to be here.
And then we're like, was there any moisture at all, or did it all
No,
just evaporate? Like,
it
what
did.
happened here? What did we miss? What is
It did.
going on?
It's already gone.
But you know what? It's just a season, which is, I guess, the understanding of where that saying comes from. It's just a season that is just that, and
It's
you
just
know,
that, and I'm ready for summer.
spring can come on back when she's
Oh no,
ready.
I want summer. Let's just skip to summer. I'm good with just summer. Summer's good.
Exactly. Summer is lovely. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. Well, I am excited today because we are actually talking about something exciting that we have coming up for all of our listeners
Yes.
to participate in, and that is us taking the podcast on the road per se, with a
Perfect.
training opportunity. So I am excited to share with our listeners what we have going on, how they can participate, how they can be a part of it, and what they can expect.
Yeah. This is going to be fun because you and I talked about this. Gosh, I think in year one, we're like,
Yep.
wouldn't it be cool if we could do some in-person thing where our guests come and our friends and our listeners would come and get to meet us in person, but then also walk away with tools and things that they can use to really kind of launch their year. And that's exactly what we're going to do. And so it's kind of
Exactly.
exciting.
It is super exciting. It's super exciting. So, if you have not heard or seen on our social media channels, which would be unheard of because we've been pushing it out everywhere, we are hosting the Reignite Live 2026 event in Loveland, Colorado on January 22nd of 2026. And we are so excited. We are hosting it at a fabulous venue called Casa Sagrada. Our
Mhm.
friend and mentor, Rachel Jane Groover, which if you did not catch one of her prior episodes, she was a former guest on
Yep.
the Reignite Resilience podcast,
Yep.
is the owner and just, I guess, the visionary of that venue.
Yes.
And we are going to collaborate with her to offer a full day training. And I don't want to say training, it's an experience, a full
It's
day
an
experience.
experience. I think it's going to be a real an experience because what it's all about is reset and focus.
Yes.
And I think that in the world that we live in today, where we are bombarded every
Yes.
second with notifications and things that we have to do and lists that we have to check off,
Yeah.
we need a little reset. We need a moment to just take a breath and to really kind of refocus what we want to put our intention into this coming year. And so I
Yes.
think that this is perfect timing, and I couldn't be more excited about it.
Exactly. Yeah, I think intention and attention, especially
Yes.
around the first of the year. And
Yes.
the timing is really ideal, I think, for everyone because the event's taking place on January 22nd. And we know that research has shown that it takes an individual 21 plus days to create new habits. And so we always start off the new year with these resolutions and these goals and objectives that we set for ourselves, things that we want to achieve. And then typically we look up and we're like, well, shoot, the wheels fell off and I don't know when that happened. So this is specifically and strategically timed to stop you before the wheels fall
Yes.
off.
Yes, before you have the chance, we're going to do
Yes.
a tune-up. We're going to tighten the wheels. We're going to look under the hood. We're going to make sure that
Yeah.
there's nothing that needs to be kind of adjusted, tweaked, and
Yeah.
we're going to put a little love in there too that'll really launch you for the rest of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm really excited and looking forward to it. So if you are interested in coming out and joining us in Loveland, Colorado, January 22nd, you can see the information on Eventbrite. If you just do a search for Reignite Live 2026, that it is there. But the morning is going to kick off with some, as Pam mentioned, some work that we're going to do to really get us centered and focused and present and in that moment. A lot of time that we spend in this business planning season, we spend looking forward, right? And sometimes we'll do some reflection, but for the most part, we're really looking at, what's ahead, what do I want to do, what am I capable of, what is going to bring me joy and satisfaction and fulfillment. But we want to make sure that we all start in this moment of understanding where are we, like exactly where we are, and honoring and creating space for ourselves to really dive into where are we, and can we celebrate that. It may not be where we want to be, but we can definitely celebrate where we are right now in our journeys that we're taking, and then from there we can dive into the introspective work, which is always
Mhm.
super amazing, and for me, a magical moments when you start to and allow yourself the space to do the introspective work.
Yeah, yeah. And I know you've been on that journey far longer than I have. I just started this journey, gosh, maybe beginning of last year.
Mhm.
Actually,
Yeah.
probably before last year. So I think no, I guess it was last year I got introduced to doing this work. And it really has been life-changing.
Yeah.
And I would love for us to share some of the kind of the things that have come out of doing some of this introspective work, because I don't think people really fully understand how it can impact every part of your life.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Where do we begin? I think you're right. I started this journey, I think a little over 10 years ago now,
Mhm.
especially working with this body of work.
Yeah.
And in and out, I think it's just woven its way into my life, and it's been more intense in certain times. And then certain times it's just on autopilot in the background. And there are definitely some practices that I carry into my everyday that are on autopilot. They're programmed in my mind, or programmed in my subconscious, and I'm grateful for that, right? Like I'm grateful for those pieces of it. And people don't necessarily know that it's happening, but I know that it's happening, and I can feel it. And I think the biggest thing for me when I was introduced to this body of work is I was on this leadership path, right? Like within my career, and I grew up in the 80s, and the perception of female leaders is different from what I've created for myself. But I just believe that, if you were going to be a female leader, you don't have the emotions, you need to not have the baggage and the luggage, that you need to work harder to prove yourself to be a competent and capable leader, just within this male dominated space. And I don't care what industry you're in, male dominated space, insert your industry, right?
Yeah.
And for me, it was within the real estate space. And so I I found myself showing up in this space where I was really tapping into like this alpha masculine energy, which if anyone knows me, I am not an alpha female. I have no desire to be an alpha female. I've never been an alpha female, but I felt like I was projecting this version of me that I saw on television and around me, what society told me a female leader needed to be.
Mhm.
And I started to project that, and that's all I knew. I didn't really have anyone in my life to correct me and say, that's not necessarily how you need to show up in life, or as a leader, or as a mom, or as a business partner, or whatever it is. And so when I was introduced to Rachel Jane Groover and her, now the Awakened School, it was not the Awakened School then, but what is now the Awakened School, she's worked really hard to create a body of work that I was introduced to. And I just found this space not to originally to check myself in terms of how I was projecting. I realized then that I was projecting. I didn't even know what projection was, right? I was just like, no, this is who I am. Until I had those moments, those quiet moments where I was silent and did the introspective work. And I was like, wait, this is not who I am. And as a matter of fact, I don't know who the hell I am. And I don't know why this version of me is even showing up, right? But again, this is where we
Mhm.
take those moments to pause and we can just celebrate the
Yeah.
journey and who we are and how we've come to be where we are right now. But one of the big things that I was able to really take away initially from working with Rachel Jane and her team has been like really recognizing and identifying like the true authentic pieces of myself, and then
Yes.
also recognizing when I'm operating in a space or that is someone else's narrative, i.e.,
Mhm.
caregivers, family members, society, the environment that I'm in. And so I often slip into that space where it's like, well, I've got to do what's expected of me versus I've got to do what really feels good. And I think for me, where the magic really happens is when you get into those spaces where it's just juicy and great and amazing and things line up. That doesn't mean it's not challenging or hard, but things just line up and it feels good. And I never grew up in a space where I really had time to tap into how I felt or how something would make me feel or how a decision would make me feel. So that was kind of my first intro, and my mind was blown. In that very
Mhm.
moment, I was
Mhm.
like, "Wait, I can actually feel for myself. I can think
Yeah.
for myself. I can just be for myself." And since then, that I've just continued to expand and grow with different varieties of and versions of the work that she's created. So that's kind of been my journey.
I love
Um, it's amazing. It's amazing the things
it.
that will align in every single area of your life when you are allowing yourself that space to just be, to
Yeah.
just be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, we don't just be.
Oh
We're
my gosh.
constantly performing
Yes.
and showing up as the version that we think people want and expect.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's exhausting.
Yes.
I think that's the biggest thing is how
Yeah.
exhausting that is when we are showing up in that performance, that, the head bubble, where
Yeah.
it's, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. What if they don't like me? Oh my gosh, I'm going to be judged. And when
Mm-hmm.
you let that go and you can really get grounded and centered and show up as
Mm-hmm.
your authentic self,
Yeah.
not only does that take less energy, it is such
Yes.
a better place to be.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and what the beautiful thing about what we're going to do in January is this is going to be a blend of a little bit of both of it. It's going to be the business side because you and I are both coaches. We both teach, we speak, and we've done this introspective work, you far more than I have.
Mm-hmm.
So the blending of it is what's going to be magical, and I think it's going to be unexpected for people, and I think they're going to just walk away like, wow.
Yeah. Oh
I
my
want to
gosh.
I want to do
Well, that's
more.
my hope. And that's, when you say like the blending of it, it's just like weaving it all together. I
Yeah.
remember having a conversation with Rachel Jane very early in our connection and letting her know, like, I work in the real estate space and this would be so valuable for every practitioner out in the
Yeah.
world. Like it would just make anything that you have if you're selling a product or a service,
Hmm.
and you have to engage with other people, what she has created and discovered and teaches really it empowers you and positions you to truly just have a stronger presence. um and I think some people talk about that in like I think that the popular thing is to say, oh, they're so charismatic, right? It's like charismatic, but what is it, right? Like if you could
What is that? What can
put it
you nail it? Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
And she's done that, right? And it's
Done it.
not the loudest or the most flamboyant
Mhm.
or the brightest in color, which are all things that are me. Yes, I am very animated. I like color. That's it.
Yes.
But those are not the things that like really
Mm.
attract, form attraction between you and
Mhm.
other people, and the things that actually make other people gravitate towards you.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about like just weaving that in together, I've done that, right? I have been the experiment and the guinea pig for myself. because I wanted to weave this into my work, my profession, and what I do. And it's so interesting. This body of work, coupled with other things that I've learned over the last 10 years, have really helped me to see, like, to have a bigger presence, and to not shrink when I'm in that space. And not that I'm constantly seeking a spotlight, but if you give it to me, I can stand there in confidence and in strength and know that I
Mhm.
can own that time, I can own that space. And I don't know if I could say that I'd be able to do that today if I was not introduced to Rachel Jane and the body of work that she's created. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited to share it with more of our friends, more of our colleagues. If you are a professional, a leader, an executive, an entrepreneur, again, if you are in sales in any way, shape, or form, product or service,
Yeah.
this is an event that you don't want to
Or
miss.
if you are around other humans.
Just, oh my gosh,
I,
absolutely.
I mean, it does, you don't
Yeah.
even have to be in business to
No.
find this valuable. So I just encourage everyone, if you're at all curious, this is worth your day to
Yeah.
spend it with us to learn these things. I'll
Yeah.
share two stories that have come out of it. And again, I've been doing this for a year, so I'm like,
Mhm.
I just am learning how to walk right now. So
Yeah.
I'm very much a baby with this. But two significant things. I again met with Rachel and we were doing some coaching, and I shared with her that after I speak or I'm coaching all day, I'm tapped out, I'm exhausted, I like physically drained. And much to my dismay, she's like, coach me in front of the group. And there was a group of about 40 women, and I about wanted to just die. And so I did. I was coaching her, and then she stopped me and she goes, okay. She goes, right now you're up in your head bubble and you want to save me and fix me and
Mhm.
find the solution for me. And she goes, so you're draining all of your energy. And that's why you get tired and sick after you're doing something. So she goes, now what I want you to do, and she walked me through the process. And she goes, now I want you to coach me again. And so I coached her the second time. And when we ended it, everyone on the call, they're like, we thought it was good the first time. The second time it was magical.
Yeah.
And it was just because she teaches you how to be different and grounded and more in that authentic space where you're actually listening and connecting to the person that's across from you, which can be great in a relationship, and
Yes.
that it allows you to have this amazing interaction with them, and it's not draining you of any of your energy and it's not draining them of any of their energy.
Yeah.
And I've seen this show up in now relationships where
Yes.
I'm more in tune with my gut and that
Mhm.
those feelings when things are feeling off. I never had that before. And I felt comfortable addressing it and bringing it up and coming to the realization like this is not for me. This
Yeah.
is not the a healthy place for me to be, and being able to walk away. And probably before I would have been like up in my head saying, "No, it'll be fine. I'll change. I'll do
Yeah.
this differently. I'll make them feel better." And it was like, "No, I'm just going to be me."
Yeah.
So that was kind of one of them, and another one was when I went on a listing appointment. I did not know these clients. It was I knew I was going to be competing,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this stuff that we've been learning.
Mhm.
This whole be in my core, my energetic center instead of in my head.
Right.
And I've been in business for a while, but I was always in my head going into these. And so this one I
Mhm.
was like, I'm going to do this differently. And so I went into it fully grounded, doing it that way. And I got the listing, and the two people that I went against were some of the top agents in Northern Colorado. And so
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap, it worked.
Yes,
Like it
it does.
worked. And it's just so for me right now, I still have to be consciously aware of it because
Hmm.
we're so programmed to go back to our old patterns, our old neural pathways. So I very much have to focus all the time and be intentional about it. Just like anything else, it's a habit that I will create, and it will get to a place like you where it becomes like it's just second nature.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
think
my,
for me, it's become second nature because I've programmed like triggers to remind me, like, get
yeah,
out of that, or we're not spending space or time in that space, right? Like that's
yeah,
the, and it does take time with anything else, like whatever you're doing, if it's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, with relationships with other people, you've got to really be intentional and create these habits over time where if what is it, James Clear, what is it, the thing that he calls it, the
the
habit
cue.
stacking,
Yeah, habit
right,
stacking.
the habit
Yeah,
stacking. And so like for me it's just a habit stacker, right? And so I said, if I'm ever experiencing X, I need to make sure that I drop down, get out of my headspace, right, and all of those things. And it's like automatically now it just happens.
yeah.
That's how easy it comes down when we're talking about habit stacking. And again, I always like to remind people, habit stacking can be good or bad, right? Like you could always have the other
Totally.
thing, like it's the end of the day. I need to have a glass of wine. I need to turn on the
Yep.
television. I need to stop being productive, right? And it's like habit stacking can go in both directions. And so being
Absolutely.
aware of that,
Yeah.
um, but it's
Yeah.
it's so interesting that you share those two experiences, because I had something similar just this year. And I remember, like, I it's one of those moments. You always have those moments where it's like, girl, if you don't get out of your own way. And
Yeah.
so I had a tremendous opportunity to speak to a group of leaders, and there were probably 1,500 plus people in this room.
Hmm.
And I didn't see the speaker lineup. I didn't know who was speaking before me. I didn't know who was speaking after me. Didn't even matter. I had to go straight to the airport and fly out immediately after. But I remember walking into the room. I always like to walk into the space beforehand just to get a feel for the space. Like, who are
Yeah.
the people in the room? What's the energy like? Things like that. And I
Mhm.
remember walking in and I saw the speaker on stage that was before me. And we are talking a 30-year veteran in the industry that has been doing professional development and personal development for 30 years, like a well-renowned and
Mhm.
admired speaker. And I'm watching her do her presentation, and I'm like, damn, she's good, right? And every time, like, I've seen her speak before, and I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
oh my
yeah.
gosh. And so then I go out and I'm talking to staff, and I was like, who did this lineup? Like, why would I be after that person? Like, there's no way. I don't understand. Like, who has it
Yeah,
out for
yeah.
me? And that was the moment I was like, girl, get out of your head. And
Get out
so
of your head.
for me, like, I can do, like, I'll find a little corner in the room, start to drop into these practices, or I will take myself to the ladies' room and lock myself in a stall
Yeah.
to slow everything down, right? Like get control of the situation and where I'm at. And so I found that space in backstage, so in the green room prep area backstage, and I was like, you know what? There's a reason that I'm here. I have a message to deliver. I'm gonna just deliver what I have to deliver. And I got through it, right? And so
Yeah.
I go through this piece, and then I start getting pictures and text messages from my friends after it's all said and done.
Yeah.
And one of my friends in particular, she was like, "Girl, that was a big room and a big stage. Like, how did you do that?" I'm so, like, I would have been so intimidated. I was like, "Don't go there," because I was already
Stop it.
there.
Stop it. Stop
Don't go
it.
there.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter if there were 1,500 people in that room, if there were 15,000 people in that room.
Yeah.
What mattered was, who is the person that's showing up for those people, and what is it that I want to deliver for them. And so when I couple that frame of mind or that thought process along with these practices, this is where I say, like, it's naturally woven together for me, and just in my career
Absolutely.
and how I built it. And so that's like, it shows up when you least
Yeah.
expect it, right? And so I didn't
Mhm.
think anything about it. I've been to that event many, many years, like, time. I think that was the sixth time that I had attended that event.
Mhm.
Multiple times I've spoken on that same stage, but in that moment, speaking after that speaker, I was like,
Yeah.
shit, what is happening?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
I knew, get out of that, get out
Get
of
out
that,
of it.
because it's not productive for me.
Yeah.
It's not going to be helpful for the people that are there that are wanting to learn.
Yeah.
And all in all, it ended up well. But
Yeah. Yeah.
again, had I not been introduced to this, I think I could have stumbled upon this somehow, some way along the way. It's not
Maybe.
rocket science,
Yeah.
but it is genius. I don't know how you could say
Well,
it that way, but
and for those listening, I mean, maybe you have no aspiration of speaking in front of 1,500 people and that just gave you hives. This could be walking into a boardroom. This could be
100%,
walking into a team meeting. This could be
100%.
speaking up in a family dynamics where you feel like you're not heard.
Yeah,
It's more about that presence and that feeling that I belong here.
yeah,
I They belong to hear what I have to say,
yeah,
and I'm coming from this authentic, beautiful place. And
yeah.
it gives you that power. And I think, I mean, from person, I think a lot of us have felt invisible in our lives at some point, whether it was as a child, in school, in a job
Yeah.
in a male-dominated world for the women out there. We've all had that moment in a relationship. We've
Hmm.
all had that moment where we felt invisible. And
Yes.
sometimes we trade that and we hide behind our to-do lists and keeping busy and all this other
Hmm.
crap that we do. This allows you to stop all that and
Yeah.
to literally become influential
Yeah.
and become
Absolutely.
become visible,
And
truly
become
visible.
visible.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and I think that's when you talk about the different areas that this applies, that's my oldest daughter will always joke and say that like before this, like pre-Rachel Jane, I don't know what you would call that, like VRJ. Um, that was I was a completely different mom than I was after my introduction to Rachel Jane. I don't know if my kids associate that and make that connection because they didn't really know that I
Yeah.
was working on this and doing the introspective work.
Yeah.
But it was recognized in terms of how I showed up as a mom. And um, do I wish that I knew it earlier? 100%. I wish that I learned this when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
I wish I learned it when I was in my teens, right? But I
Absolutely.
didn't. And so, and here it is, right? Received the gift when I did, and I've just made the most of it during that time.
Yeah.
And that's
I love it.
you talk about like just um going from being invisible, and that's actually your talk, that's your keynote that you're giving, Pam. So Pam is going to kickstart the day with a session that's going to help you go from invisible to invincible,
To
which I think
actually invisible to influential.
in influential.
Influential. Yeah.
Influential. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
Wow.
And then Rachel Jane will give us the embodiment work that we just talked about,
Yep.
that we shared with all of you. And I'm going to round it out in the typical way that I do because you all know I am very linear. It just
Yep.
happens. But once we spend all of that time doing the introspective work, that's when we are positioned really well to create the action items. So we are going to wrap up our time together by creating that action plan. What does that look like now that we've had this opportunity to reflect on the first 21 days of the year,
Mhm.
really get crystal clear on where we are right now, and set ourselves up for success with those habits that we can take forward into the rest of 2026. And then you'll have some networking opportunities to connect with other attendees, people that are just like you, other executives and leaders and entrepreneurs and just individual moms and dads and wives and husbands and coworkers that just want to um that there's something else and
Yeah.
you're not sure what it is.
Yeah.
And so we're going to give you an opportunity to network with those individuals and connect with some of our vendors and sponsors. We've got some phenomenal
Yes.
sponsors and vendors that you will all hear more about as we get closer to the date, but just an amazing lineup, an amazing venue, an amazing group of individuals that are going to be in attendance, and just people that are truly invested in investing in themselves, which I think is important. That's the biggest key, is that you have to be invested in investing in yourself. And so, if that's you, you definitely want to check out the event.
You definitely want to check it out.
Yeah, I love it. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited about it.
I am too.
We will make sure that we continue to drop information, and the registration link will be in the show notes, and you'll probably hear an ad for it in all of our episodes coming up
Yeah.
here in the
You.
future, just because we will talk about it because it's a don't miss opportunity, right? You
Yeah,
definitely want
yeah.
to
You
be
don't want
visible.
to miss this opportunity. And our goal and our wish would be that we do this either once a year or every 6 months. We're
Yeah.
going to see, see how this lands with people. And if it's lands well, then we'll do it as often as we possibly can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's another important piece is like if you don't feel that you can lean on yourself to continue those habits, you will have an opportunity to learn more about our mastermind that will kick off immediately following the Reignite Live event, where you and a small group of individuals, it is very much limited in size and
Yes.
in terms of how many we will accept into the mastermind group, but we're going to offer a small mastermind group for those individuals that are just wanting to take it to the next level, or even dive deeper into the work that we introduce for you during that time together at Reignite Live. So, a lot of opportunity in 2026, a lot of opportunity. And you get to see us. And it's not just exclusive if you live in Colorado, because we already have
No.
attendees that have registered that are flying in and making a weekend of it. So if you need a getaway, Loveland, Colorado, we will leave you with some things to do. You will be surprised at how many things we have going on that will keep you entertained throughout the weekend. I don't know if the statistic is still true, but I know when I originally moved to Northern Colorado, Loveland was known to have the most artists per capita than any other city in the entire nation.
Okay.
It's an art
I believe
capital.
it.
I mean, hey,
Yeah.
who would have thunk it?
Who'd have think that? I love it. I love it.
A
Oh
lot
my.
of fun facts. So, Casa Sagrada, you'll have Pam Cass, myself, Rachel Jane Groover is our special guest speaker that will be joining us midday. Networking, swag bags, lunches, snacks. You know, we are going to keep you replenished, hydrated, and energized and ready to go so that you can make sure that 2026 is going to be a phenomenal and exceptional year that lines up with where you want to go and who you want to be.
Yeah. I love it. I love it, guys. Don't miss this. You don't want to find out that you missed the event of 2026.
Yeah.
You'll be sad.
Don't say we didn't tell
You'll
you.
be sad. You will be sad. Because we'll tell you that you missed it.
Yes, exactly. Don't say we didn't tell you. We told you.
We told you. We told you. You don't want to miss it.
All right. If you want more information, head on over to our Facebook or Instagram account, or check out the show notes for the registration link. And if you're interested in sponsoring the event, reach out to us at podcast@reigniteresilience.com. Until next time, we'll see y'all soon.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for joining us today on the Reignite Resilience podcast. We hope you had some aha moments and learned a few new real-life ideas to fuel the flames of passion. Please subscribe on your favorite streaming platform, like or download your favorite episodes, and of course, share with your friends and family. We look forward to seeing you again next time on Reignite Resilience.